Man, this game is so easy. These bugs die in like 3 bullets. What is that? Well, guess I gotta procrastinate the video again. About 2 months ago, I woke up bored. I scrolled through YouTube, played some games, but then it occurred to me. The factory must grow. So, for the first time in a couple of months, I booted up Factorio with a dream that surely no other person has ever done. Beat the game. No, what are you doing? And because I'm a true Factorio gamer, I decided that I would do it on Deathworld. Surely that would not extend the runtime of this video to 60 hours. Foreshadowing is defined as welcome to Pandora. I've crashed here because of the promise of industrial wealth and the global economy. I immediately destroy any hope of leaving early by scrapping my fully built rocket ship that was in great condition, as you can clearly see. Perfect condition. Yep. I do some research on game mechanics and start mining.
Redstone? What a bunch of mumbo-jumbo.
After cutting down some more trees, I realized the first rule of Deathworld. If you want ore patches, you need... ore patches. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. After mining enough iron, I somehow unlocked steam power, which is apparently made out of iron science, and basic electronics after getting copper science. It's actually kind of scary seeing spider nests that close to my only power source for the early game, especially ones that are the size of Russia. I do have one salvation though, which is to hire gnomes with the power of Bailey machine guns to convince the local proletariat to achieve a higher plane of existence. In other words,
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
after walking to the furnaces for the 1 billionth time, I really should have invested in a conveyor belt stock, I hear the violence. And then I see the violence. Guess we doing more now. And it went completely to plan, seeing as I, in my genius, successfully defeated their soldiers in combat. Just ignore that they spawn again in 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, oh no. I should probably explain who these little guys actually are. You see, biters are the locals on this lovely planet named Novice. They come in 4 different flavors. Biters, which bite, spitters that spit acid, which make you hate life, worms, which are basically them but heavy artillery, and nests that spawn them. There is a stat that all biter flavors follow: evolution. Essentially, we go from Goo Goo Gaga 20 HP cannon fodder to 3000 HP menaces that can and will absorb bullets as if they're... Evolution goes up in 3 different ways. Pollution, time, which is about 12 of pollution per second, and war, which is about 2000 pollution per nest. For reference, this little level 1 base in my iron mine has 9 nests. It would take about 8 million pollution to evolve to the final form of death, doom, and despair normally. Of course, that's a large simplification, of which I spent about 2 hours looking into. You're welcome! Anyway, after that monumental victory, I decided to defend the iron mines with gnome gunners instead of taking out the actual issue, because I like procrastination. These stone furnaces are very cheap to make, unless they are prime raw material. After that, I just repeated the cycle. Gather ores, smelt, repair, science, upgrade. Gather ores, smelt, repair, science, ores, smelt, repair, science, ores, Did you notice that I keep adding fuel to the miners? Here at Blocky's Electric Miners Incorporated, just use power. Idiot. So I connected the mines to power with 183 power poles and ta-da! It also drills half an ore per second instead of a quarter at 10 pollution instead of 12. So that's about twice as much ore per ore ratio. Nice. We've also been working on new technology in the background. It's something that I've used for the rest of the game. The shotgun. And with the shotgun, Welcome to the Schliefflin plan, and we are not the French. The reason I waited for this shotgun to truly attempt an end at their base is the fact that it shoots 12 shells in one shell. Crafting the remaining biters, I had not enough iron to make bullets. Even worse, when I tried to make more, they... Why can't I pick up the broken chest? Stop mining the iron. But no. I think I'm gonna... That on my system. I didn't die. In the ore between kill or be killed, we had invented this new wall technology called walls. They're the first thing that stone is used for, other than stone furnaces, so I set up a stone mine with fully automated furnaces and a crafter. For those of you who have played Factorio before, I want you to know that this took me about an hour to actually use automation. I turned the 0.5 iron per second into 1.5 automated iron plates per second. Nice. You may be wondering why plates would be better than raw ore, and that's because I'm what you call a better than you at Minecraft. Wait, and that calls for automation everywhere. Speaking of, do you remember how I wanted to invest in the conveyor belt stock like 2 minutes ago? Well, look at this! It brings the coal in same-day delivery straight to the boilers. Another note for the Factorioans out there, it took me over 1 hour and 21 minutes to place my first conveyor belt. I am crying. Since there are still plenty of locals that want me dead, I have decided to place the walls I've been creating around the iron and stone mines. Why not the whole base? That's because I'm poor! I built some more walls and gnome turrets near the boilers. I then rebuilt the boilers for some reason. Now, back in ye olde 3 minutes ago, I was talking about researching stuff. But how does stuff search? Let alone research. In Factorio, there are these things called research packs, ranging from red automation science made with a gear and copper plate, to space science, which puts you on the spectrum. Currently, I'm at the lowest level of the factory pyramid scheme, red science. All I need for this is a simple process that I want you to follow along with. Take 2 irons from the ground over here, and 1 copper from the ground over here. Smelt those into 2 iron plates, and 1 copper plate. Then turn those 2 iron plates into 1 gear. Then, in your Pro Automation Crafting Table Mark 1, combine the gear and copper plate to output 1 red science every 10 seconds. You also have to put that science into a lab for it to do anything, and here you can see my beautiful science thing. Is it automated? Nope. Is it good? No. Does it work? On Wednesdays. So it's slightly automated by making there be a sort of storage chest to store the iron and copper. I'll only have to check in on it about an hour later, so I just gotta wall it in and call it a day. Surely it's 1 gnome turret will never fail. Hey, wait a second, what's that on the map? Fortunately for most of the damage, I can just repair it with repair kits, which is a new technology. Nice. Then I rebuilt the whole thing anyway, with more space for future expansion. Using the all-new, improved grass science. I was able to unlock more tools and items, such as another tier of armor, grenades, better bullets. Not for the shotgun though. I also built this tiny little outpost to take attacks in the place of the entire base, because the bugs are stupid and can't tell this apart from this. Before I knew it, it was time for... What happened here was very similar to Bug War 1, because I am stupid and didn't actually think to bring the new stuff to the fight. I do have proper walls and grenades now, though. Since science has reached a plateau at more gun...
I am a fucking
Engineer.
I'm just stuck.
Killing biters. The factory needs to...
After allowing a coexistence peace treaty for the greater good, I kept moving. You can really tell how far we've already come in these 3 minutes, because the biters used to deal damage, and now they just tickle. But then... remember how evolution goes up every time you kill a spawner nest? This is when spitter and biter spawners start to diverge. We have hit 20% evolution, which means that medium biters are about to spawn. At 20% evolution, medium biters start to spawn from biter spawners. But they don't spawn from spitter spawners for another 5%, so I just kill the biter spawners and move on. Nest races. Now that we had reached a final agreement, it was time to expand the base. I had currently placed walls around the mines, but if I could just make one really big wall that encloses everything, except the copper mine, everything would be great. And maybe I should automate grass science too. How about one of each science every 2 seconds? And I guess I'll need some more power to keep that running, and make some more iron, and listen to memes. Wait, what does that have to do with it? Invent engines, flamethrowers, and lo and behold, that's a base. I even got my first achievement of the run, because the last time I played I did not have enough brain cells to understand military science. But I did find another one on the streets of Columbus, Ohio, and because 3 is greater than 4, I can now understand this. Even though I explained all that in one paragraph, that was 2 hours of progression, and I have reached the 5-hour mark. In that time I heavily glossed over, I had invented the flamethrower. This is one of the very few weapons in the entire game that does splash damage and a lasting effect. We don't talk about the poison capsule. I took it for a spin and I won the greatest...